Hi, my name is Pearl John, and this is Unit 5 discussion on data types. What is data and why is it important? Information systems are comprised of a lot of data. Without data, information systems would be useless because they gain their importance by processing data. The more data is added, the more effective the information system becomes. Data can represent anything depending on what it's being used for. In a business setting, it could represent transactions, customers, employees, inventory, and much, much more. Data is comprised of several types, which fall under primitive data type and non-primitive data type. Primitive data type is a data type that is built into a programming language, or one that could be characterized as a basic structure for building more sophisticated data types. Now, there are several of those, and they fall into certain categories. You have numbers, which are integers and floats. An integer is a whole number that could hold a zero, positive, or negative value. A float, it represents real numbers, but it's a data type that is used to define floating decimal points. They also have text, which is another category, and string falls into that category. String represents a sequence of characters, which is text, inside double or single quotes. And then there is Boolean, which is true or false. It's good for comparisons. It can represent true values with two constant objects. Now, these things are good for business because numbers in a business, you're going to need numbers for all kinds of things. You're going to need numbers for transactions, you're going to need numbers for quantities, including inventories, customers, employees, and things of that nature. Strings, you're going to need information about your customers, information about your products, information about your employees, and strings can handle that. And the Boolean, true or false, it could be questions, specific questions that a business could ask about customers or employees that doesn't need intensive information, just yes or no, true or false. And also, another one is a date time. This is another data type. It's for dates and times. And that is very important in a business because you would want to know when transactions are done. You'd want to know when a customer signs up for something, or maybe when they quit their transcript, their subscriptions. You're going to know about employees, maybe when they come to work, when they leave work. So, date time data is very important in a business. Non-primitive data type is not defined by the programming language, but instead it is created by the programmer. They have been called object references or reference variables because they reference a memory location which stores the data. Now, the things that fall under that is list, arrays, tables. Now, lists and arrays are made up of integers, floats, strings, text. They're similar, but not quite. So, arrays and lists are both used to store data, but they don't exactly have the same purpose. They can both be used, they use real numbers, strings, etc., as I said before, and they both can be indexed and iterated through, but that's where the similarity ends. The main difference between a list and an array is the functions that you can perform with them. Now, list, you can get customers' names, employee names, products, inventories, and those are sequential. Arrays don't have to be sequential. You can get almost the same information, but it doesn't have to follow the same exact pattern. And then there's tables. Tables are arrays that are used to create tables. And we know in businesses you can use tables. You can go with months. based on what kind of data you're trying to get. So you have the month of January, this data. You have the month of February, this data. So you can create tables for various things, and the arrays are used to create these tables. So all these data types, primitive, non-primitive, all of it is very essential to a business. Very essential. Anyway, this is the end of my presentation, and thank you for listening.